on the day of judgment, a person will not be able to move unless he has answered 5 questions. Now each one of us, including myself, let us all think to ourselves, are we all ready for these 5 questions? If we think to ourselves, my dear Islamic brothers, when we have an exam in the school or colleges, when do you get the exam papers? You get them that same day. You don't get the exam papers before that. And even though if the exam papers are leaked out, your exam is cancelled. Why? Because that is classed as cheating. Now think to yourself, the exam papers on the day of judgment, each and every person who will have to answer these questions have already been out. These questions, Allah Azza wa Jal has not only told us about the questions, but Allah Azza wa Jal has even given us the answers as well. It says of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he says, on the day of judgment, a person will be asked the first question, how did you spend your life? Number 2, how did you spend your youth? Number 3, how did you earn your money and where did you spend your money? And number 5, how much knowledge did you have? Or how much did you act upon the knowledge you had? Are we all ready for these 5 questions? And have we got the answers? Number 1, how did you spend your life? What are we going to say to Allah on the day of judgment? Ya Allah, this is how I lived my life. I didn't learn about the deen. I was so busy, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, I didn't even have time. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, I thought that we are born in this world, we chill out, we have fun, and then that is it, we die and we perish, and there is nothing after that. That is not the belief of a Muslim. An article of Islam, an article of our belief is وَالْبَعْدِ بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ, we will be risen after we have died. So when you see someone dying, it doesn't mean that is the end of it. We are humans. And the way Allah Azza wa Jal has made us amongst the best of all the creation, on the day of judgment, my dear Islam brothers, each and every one of us, just imagine when we will be standing on that world which was made out of copper. Today the world is made out of sand, made out of mud. But on the day of judgment, this world will be made out of copper. And copper absorbs heat. And you know where the sun is today? The sun is millions of miles away from our heads. But when it is summertime, you can't go to sleep if you don't put a fan on. You can't go to sleep if you don't sleep in an air conditioning room. And the sun is million miles away from your head. On the day of judgment, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, on that day the sun will be only 1¼ mile away from your head. It will be burning, heat, people will be drowning in their own sweat, but no one will be able to move on that day. No one will be able to help on that day. Your friend, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, no one will be able to help you on that day. It is you and your actions. Imagine, on that day when we are standing on that burning copper, and the sun is heating, and then you will be asked these questions. How did you spend your life? What are we going to reply? How did you spend your youth? What are we going to say? Ya Allah, I spent my youth chilling out with my friends. I spent my youth, I was traveling to certain place, I was doing that. Ya Allah, this is how I spent my youth. My dear Islam brothers, we need to prepare for ourselves for that day. And sadly, the materialistic things in this world are not letting us prepare for that. The materialistic things in this dunya are taking us away and away from the remembrance of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ, he further on, in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is about an oppressor, about someone who does zulm. He says that Sayyidina Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Hurairah, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who narrate this hadith, they say that Allah, the value of a Muslim, what is the value of, have you ever thought to yourself what your value is as a Muslim? Today, my dear Islam brothers, we are sometimes ashamed to even call ourselves Muslims. Why? Because of the culture or because of the environment. People are afraid to call themselves Muslims. But let me tell you the value of a Muslim. In the court of Allah Azza wa Jal, and in the eyes of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what a Muslim is worth. One life of a Muslim, how much value it has. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he says, if all the inhabitants of the heaven and the world, they join together to kill one Muslim, Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal will send all of if the whole world got together to shed blood, not only kill him, but just to shed blood of one Muslim, Allah will gather. We will not be bothered about anyone, but Allah will gather the whole creation, everyone living in this world and the heavens. Allah will throw all of them into the fire of hell. That is the value of you, brothers. That is how much you are valued in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. Today we are devaluing ourselves. Today we are not recognizing our value. And my dear Islam brothers, that is why today we are facing all these problems. The Prophet ﷺ, he says about someone who is an oppressor, someone who will cause injustice to someone, even looking at someone. You're walking on the streets, like the brother mentioned, you're walking on the streets and he will kill you. Why? Because why do you look at me with a dirty eye? Just even that. What the punishment of the Day of Judgment will be for a person. It says that Hazrat Sayyidina Faqih Abu Layth Samarkandi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh, he writes in his book Qurratul Uyun that Allah Azza wa Jal's beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he says, there is no doubt that on the Pul Sirat, on the bridge of Sirat, there are shackles of fire, chains of fire on the bridge of Sirat. What is the bridge of Sirat? The bridge of Sirat is that bridge which is over the fire of hell. Every person, even though he is a kafir, even though he is a Muslim, he will have to cross that bridge of Sirat. And that bridge of Sirat, how wide it is? Just one hair strand. That's how wide that bridge of Sirat will be. We can't even walk on rope. If I say to you, go and get a rope and try walking over that, we won't be able to do. Now, the hair strand, how wide is that? This is how wide the bridge of Sirat will be. And how sharp the bridge of Sirat will be. It will be sharper than a sword. Just imagine we have to cross the bridge of Sirat. And it doesn't mean, my dear Islam brothers, that on that day we're going to have miracles and we're going to fly over that bridge of Sirat. There are certain people who will fly over the bridge of Sirat. There will be a group of people who will run over the bridge of Sirat. There will be a group of people who will walk on the bridge of Sirat. There are a group of people who will be walking on their knees on the bridge of Sirat. And it says that the Prophet ﷺ, he says that there will be shackles of fire placed on the bridge of Sirat. And when a person who is an oppressor, who has caused harm to someone, when he tries to walk the bridge of Sirat, he will see that the fire will be burning. And Allah Azza wa Jal will order the fire of hell to grab hold of all these sinners, and to grab hold of their feet and to drag them inside the fire. That is what kind of situation will be. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says that whosoever has taken even a single dirham in a haram manner, a shackle of fire will be placed on his feet, with the result that it will become difficult for that person to cross the bridge of Sirat. So if you have robbed someone, if you have stolen something from someone, just one penny if you have stolen from someone, or you have frauded someone with just 1 pence, what will the punishment will be? That shackle will be put on your feet. You will be trying to cross the bridge of Sirat, another shackle will grab hold of your feet. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says that until that person who you robbed, or that person who you stole the money from, or that person you owe the money and you deliberately did not pay him, unless he is paid back or he forgives you, that person, he will fall into the fire of hell. Today we don't think this as being something really what to be worried about. You get someone, can I borrow a pound of you? Yeah, I'll give it to you tomorrow. But our intention is that I'm not going to give you back. Now, never mind pounds. Today people are, we're talking thousands, we're talking thousands of pounds we owe someone, but we're not giving them back. But just 1 penny, my dear Islam brothers, if that is the punishment, then imagine those people whose hobby it is to rob someone. It is our hobby to go and steal someone's money. Now, it might be a hobby, or it might be that we are engaged in something else, and we have to do that. For example,